Wow, that's some great lighting. That's pretty good. Look at me. Ooh, broken, but I'm okay. This is the going for the walk in the afternoon video. Hi, I'm Dave. I'd like to bring you guys with me on these walks. Helps motivate me and yeah, talk about different things. So now I've got 3 hacks for you to prepare for early retirement. Now, I was forced into retirement, and I'll give you an extra bonus one at the end, okay? But I was forced into retirement when I fell off a roof, for those who don't know my story. I fell off a roof. I was a roofing inspector. Used to make really good money. I would go after storms and help the people who had damaged roofs, inspect the roof, see if they had enough damage to get a insurance claim, and then help them with the insurance claim so that they could get their roofs fixed. So I really enjoyed it. So here's the 3 hacks to help you get towards early retirement, or just if you have a retirement coming up, how to prepare. Now, I am not a financial guru or financial advisor. I am not, this is hacks that I've done and stuff. So this is, you know, all those other disclaimers that you need to put in nowadays. This is, you know, I'm some guy on the internet, right? So, take my information with a grain of salt. Do your research and find out what I'm giving you, these hacks and these tips here of ways that I learned how to do it that work for me. They might not work for you, but here we go. The first one is to set up a time frame, because the time frame of when you want to retire, or when you're going to be forced to retire, or like, oh, I'm going to be 62 soon, or I'm going to be 65 or 67, and then I'm going to have to retire. So you have to look at your time frame. Now, if you're in your 40s or 30s and you have some time, but you say, I want to become part of FIRE, financial independence, and retire early. So I want to do that in 10 years. I want to have enough money to retire in 10 years. Right? And there's all these videos out there that'll tell you you need 1.25% of your whatever your yearly income is, times that by 25, or blah blah blah. There's all these things that tell you how to do it, and they all tell you that there's videos of where they tell you to consolidate all your debts, stop all the leaks, and I've talked about this too. Stop your leaks of where the money is just going out into services you don't use, and maybe don't get so many frappuccinos over at Starbucks, and don't be eating out every day of the week. Stuff that you just become more smarter with your money. That's easy. Now, setting up the time frame of when you want to retire, I think, is a really key factor, because like you heard me talk about how our daughter is entering high school, so she's going to be graduating in 4 years, and then she's going off to university. And you ever notice how I say university instead of college? I think that's because I used to live in Europe. I was stationed over in Germany, and I lived in Germany, and they say university instead of saying I'm going off to college. So little subtle differences there that I might have picked up. But anyway, so she's going off to university, and we are planning to slow travel the world. Now, I have my pension from the military, or the VA, right? So that's what we're going to live off for the most part. Now, we're supplementing that with the other income that we're saving up for. Because if you can imagine, that is not the biggest pension in the world. And as soon as our daughter goes off to college and we're not supporting her anymore, and she's not a dependent, then that's going to drop a little bit. So we need to supplement that income with more money. So we have our investments with index funds and ETFs, and then we have what we're saving. We're saving for we want to save up a 2-year emergency fund at about $50,000 a year. So that's $100,000 worth of emergency fund in a interest account that gives over 3.5%. Right now, I think Vanguard is at 3.75%, and there's some out there that are doing 4%. So you have to do your research on that part. So you're setting up your time frame, and you're doing this because you're like, okay, we're going to need X amount a year. Now, are you, and then, so we need to have some way to generate that money, either by partially from if you're retiring and you're getting Social Security, or you have some pension, or you have your investments or a 401k, right? Or a Roth IRA, or whatever you're doing. We also use high cash value life insurance, whole life insurance policies that we can take a loan up, so it doesn't count as income and it doesn't mess up taxes, right? But we still have to pay it back, and it replenishes itself, and because it's part of the legacy fund that we're setting up for our daughter and her children and their children, right? But that's going too far. This is just meant to be a quick video with these hacks. So that's one, but that leads right into the next one. The important would be your location. Now, you're like, what does location have to do with hacks for being able to either retire early or retire in time and live off of your retirement? Well, yeah, most, well, a few of you probably got it. Most of you might have gotten it. Is the location is very important, because if you retire and you want to retire and stay in, say, like California, in the San Francisco area, or in Dallas, or even here in Florida, where the prices have been climbing up like crazy, that's very different than if you are out in Alabama or in certain parts of Colorado or Idaho, for that matter, or Montana, or even different parts of Florida. There's still some very rural parts of Florida that are cheap. Tennessee and everything, Louisiana. So you can see where your location is very important to how much you're going to need to live off of. So look at the time frame that you have before, so that you can plan accordingly on how much you can put away and how much you have time to build other assets. And then your location, so that you can maximize the value of the assets and the income and the revenue that you're getting for that, right? Does that make sense? If it does, hit that like button. You're welcome to subscribe and definitely comment. I love reading your comments, even if you don't agree with me, right? That's okay. So you have your timeline, you have your location where you want to do it, or like that. And also, if you want to do what we want to do, is we found out that for us it's better to slow travel the world, where we can travel anywhere from $1,500 to $5,000 a month, and stay in a country or a city for a month, and then travel through there and live in a month, or stay in an area for up to like 3 months or so, and live very inexpensively compared to what we're living here. My nose looks a little red. Call me Rudolph. Sorry, squirrel. So is that now on the third part of that is, will you want to do something online, right? Because a lot of people will say, oh, in order to be retired, you have to just sit on a beach or play golf every day. You can't work. Well, bullshit. I'll call it right like I see it. That's bullshit. Because you don't have to work if you do it correctly. But I can understand where that if there's nothing wrong with supplementing your other income with working online, working remotely, geo arbitrage. Like if you want to go live in another less expensive country and still work as a gig worker, a freelancer, or a consultant, or something like that, and do gig work or whatever, and earn a pretty good American type income, but live in Argentina. Now Argentina has some really crazy inflation going on right now, but you know what I mean. Where you could live and even do what we're doing, is slow traveling, and you could supplement that with remote work. So and working online, and that can be for another company, or you can do your own thing. You can set up your own consulting. Whatever job you have now, you can just put it in ChatGPT and make AI work for you. You can ask it, hey, what can I do? What kind of, give me 10 types of online careers or businesses that I could open with this job set. Here's my job title, and this is what I do. I've had 25 years or 10 years or 15 years, whatever it is, experience doing this. What could I do online on this? Give me 10 examples with their and ask me more questions and as needed, right? And then I'm sorry, I'm getting bit by a deer fly. Little bugger. And then as you do that, and it asks you more questions on what to do, and everything, and you can, once you find one that you really resonates with you, you can expand that. And who knows? There are guys that are doing this, and they're doing consulting, things like that. If you worked in HR, you can do consulting for that, help people get jobs, and how they're using all these automatic readers and how they pull these keywords out of the thing. You can consult on how to do that, and you can make more money doing that than you did at your regular job. And that's not bad. And if you have enough to live off of in your retirement, this is just icing on the cake. So you can, instead of budget traveling all over the world or living on a tighter budget, you'll be making more than enough to live almost where you want. It's all within whatever your income is bringing in as that. And you're doing something that is not trading time for money, right? You put in a little bit of effort to make your videos and do your consulting, your calls and things, and you do a little bit of work and you get your consulting fee, which is more money. It's still a little bit of time for money, but you're not hour dependent. Like, you don't have to clock in at 9 and leave at 5. You can clock in at noon and leave at 1, or you can clock in at midnight and leave at 3 o'clock in the morning. You know what I mean? So look at that and see if that makes sense for you as you go into either early retirement or retirement. All right, so you've got the time frame that you want to do it in, and balance that out so you can see where you need to be and how much you need to do. And then you need to figure out your location, or if you're doing multiple locations, how much you need to live there or travel and do that. And then the other thing is figure out if you want to create a online business or consulting. Those are the 3 hacks. You get all those other hacks that everybody does, but a lot of people don't talk about this, even though that they do it, and their channels are all about, business. Sorry, I chopped off my head there. So it's all about business, and they're talking about investing, and they're talking about slow traveling, but look between the lines. What they're not telling you is that they're retired, but they're slow traveling the world, and they've got, that YouTube channel, these Instagram channels, TikTok, and they got maybe multiple YouTube channels, and they're making a great amount, or a little bit of money off of these channels as they grow. But then they don't talk to you about, they might mention it, that they have all these affiliate links. They have these credit card offers, right? So you can develop your own audience, and then you don't have to sell them necessarily your consulting gig, but you can have affiliate things where links where you talk about your camera equipment or your travel stuff, the compression bags you use, the suitcases, backpacks you use, and then if somebody clicks on the link, whatever they buy, like on Amazon, you get a commission for, or you get paid. Like if you talk about how you use your credit cards to get points, and then how you use those points, or you talk about the insurance that you have. There's so many things to do for, especially in affiliate marketing, that you can increase your revenue, and that's usually a lot more than the revenue you get from once you're monetized on YouTube, depending on the niche you pick. So nobody talks about that, and it's so easy nowadays. Now I'm building out different websites now. People say websites are dead, but it's all geared towards affiliate links, all geared on things that my wife wants to do. So she talks about traveling and stuff, and fashion, and my daughter too. So I'm helping them build out websites that will go to have TikToks, Instagram channels, and YouTube videos and shorts, all geared at driving traffic to their websites for their affiliate offers and fashion offers. So, and there's a million different other sites that you can tie in for that. So when my daughter is going to school, even though we're not helping her with the thing, she will be making a little bit of money from that. I don't know if she'll have a monetized channel in the traditional, like YouTube monetization, 1,000 followers and 4,000 watch hours and stuff like that. But I know she'll have articles and photographs of her ideas about fashion, and she might be probably inclined to do TikTok more than that, but I'll get her on YouTube shorts and things. And then that'll bring it. You figure, you see these awards, these cases, viral cases, where people jump up to 100,000 followers really quick and stuff. Now, just you always set up a plan, going back to, like I said, set a time frame. Say she's graduating in 4 years, so she has 4 years of making consistent content. The good thing is to develop her voice and get in, get her content creation muscles going. you know, your muscle memory and everything, so that she's starting to develop that. As you can see by here, my muscle memory and developing my content is, you know, questionable, especially with my talking, how I speak and how I can lead up and do my storytelling. But, you know, over time, in 2 years, you know, if I keep doing this, who knows where I'll be at that. I would imagine I'm doing a lot better than what I'm doing now, but that just comes with practice. But I know my daughter will be killing it. I know my wife will be knocking it out of the park with the writing, because she used to be a journalist. She doesn't like to be in front of the camera, and I tell her she can make channels without even showing her face. So we're still working on that. But so that's the 3 ones. All right. Now the 4th, the bonus tip. Okay. And this video is longer than I thought it would be, but I hope you're getting some value out of it. If you are, hit that like button. Now the bonus tip is you want to, I'm dragging it out like a telenovela. You're like, all right, David, just tell us a tip. The other thing is to basically, how should I put this? And did I drag it out enough? Okay, it's the bonus hack is basically you want to see and do those measurement tools to see how long your money will last. Now, some of the channels talk about doing the this. It begins with an M. I'm going blank on there, but you want to say, okay, I have X amount of money that I have saved up in my investments. I have these dividends that pay me and stuff. I'm earning this amount of money. I can do that 4% rule, or do a 5% rule. I have an 86% chance it's going to last until this amount, right? But how I mean it is that you do that check, and you say, okay, I can make it with this amount of money. I have an 80% better or better chance of not running out of money before that, right? Now, when you have that information, that gives you a good idea on what you need to live off of, where you're going to be living, how you're going to be traveling if you are, and also, you know, if you're going to need supplemental income. And now, as with the supplemental income, you can put, all right, if I'm making an extra $500 a month, $1,000, how are my chances there? Can I live better? Now, this all plays into what a lot of people don't talk about, is because you see a lot of people are talking about how to survive your retirement, you know, how to live off of, you know, $1,200 a month. That's not, we don't want to do that. We have our budget of, I want to have a budget of $5,000 a month, or a little bit more. But that's, I also at the same time, I want to be able to say that, oh, we can do 10,000 one month if we wanted to, right? So we're putting in place all these other things that are creating more money for us. So on those times when we want to travel to more expensive countries, or do some more tours, or see a really cool concert or something, then we can do that without worrying. Now, does that make sense? Oh, getting a little dark there. So that's what I mean by that, because you want to be able to know where you've been and where you're going, and then also have the ability to improve it. I understand budget travel, and I like that, and I understand living off of a budget, a modest income. I think that's very doable, and you can, if you learn how to do that first, then as you increase your income, you don't do the lifestyle creep. But there's nothing wrong with wanting to live off a luxury or a more luxurious lifestyle. So where you're going out to the nice restaurants and you're having the nice clothes. If you're staying locally or moving somewhere, wherever you are, and staying put, having a nice place, either a nice apartment, nice condo or house, and then also having a nice car. And getting yourself a car every, 3 to 5 years, right? You see them? Ow. I didn't get him. You saw him there, right? He was right there. Anyway, so I hope that makes sense. I hope you enjoyed these tips. A little bit different from what everybody else is telling you, because that's pretty much a basic. We know, or we can get to those steps, the foundations of those, by saving and building skill sets. But these ones are a little bit different. Let me know what you thought in the comments. Do you like this style of content, or do you want me to go back and talking about how I'm fasting and just losing weight? All right, you guys have a blessed day.